Hey America! Welcome to the very first video short by the Marijuana Policy Posse. One of the questions we get asked all the time by supporters of marijuana reform is, why is marijuana illegal? It's a good question, and to answer it we did two things. First, we hit the streets to ask the public what they thought. Then we went to the experts to ask what they had to say. The answers we received were wide-ranging, informative, and interesting. So sit back, enjoy, and be sure to check us out at marijuanapolicyposse.com for more videos.
Why do I think it's illegal? Yeah, I don't really know.
Inertia, history, an old law that just will not come off the books because it's been there forever.
Because it can't be taxed.
It was based on racism. There's also, I think, industrial reasons why it's illegal as well.
I think it is illegal. Actually, I don't know why.
Because of the government, and they can't tax it.
Because people have the potential to use it in a bad way.
And they created a vast government bureaucracy to fight prohibition, and then prohibition went out. They needed something to do with this bureaucracy.
It's illegal because it's a drug.
Beats me.
Because it's harmful. I guess just sort of a history.
I just think they don't know how to control it, so if they can't control it, make it illegal.
Because we live in a country based on Puritan values.
The reasons that marijuana is illegal today are many and complicated.
The government and politicians have failed to listen to many, many government commissions that over the past 100 years have said that marijuana should not be criminalized.
The only powerful organized forces on the issue were those that were advocating for keeping it illegal.
Marijuana is illegal because there's a perception of harm behind it. People think it's so harmful that it must remain illegal for all people to use.
In the 1930s, I think there were some misunderstandings about marijuana. There are all kinds of side issues about whether we should encourage or discourage the hemp industry as opposed to maybe some other fibers. There are issues involving prohibition, which had just ended, and the question of how much competition do we want with this new beer and alcohol industry.
It was basically a corporate conspiracy that lives to this day. It's now grown to serve the purposes of the law enforcement community generally. It's a full employment for cops and all the people associated with that. What a waste of money.
It dates from a wave of complete hysteria and exaggerated propaganda back in the 1920s and 30s.
You know, the reason why it was made illegal is pretty clear when you look at the historical record of the reefer madness days. Totally racism, totally against immigration.
The origins were obviously in racism, and you also had the prohibition establishment, alcohol prohibition establishment that sort of found themselves out of work and were able to latch on to another substance that they could very easily demonize because people didn't really know what it was. They put a Spanish name on it, marijuana, which sounded quite scary to a lot of Americans, and were sort of able to demonize this and keep their network established and flourishing around a drug that people had a lot less experience with than they did with alcohol.
It's the easiest thing in the world for the police to concentrate on catching a cannabis user. It's much easier to detect someone smoking a joint in an alleyway than it is someone doing a line in a bathroom. And so it takes a very low level. It's what do they call the lowest fruit that gets picked.
Marijuana is illegal because the people want it to be illegal. If you look at the polling, it's only 36% of the American people support making marijuana legal. So it's what the people want, is to keep it illegal. Now, why is that? The main reason is, of course, because of the government and its disinformation campaign ever since the federal government made marijuana illegal in 1937. So when you have literally billions of dollars being spent over the course of 70 years to trash marijuana, the image of marijuana users by the federal government, and then you don't have a response to that by people who are willing to actually tell the truth, then you're going to have a populace that's very afraid and misinformed. And that's what we have now.